1968 was the date and the year when the Gaels of Athea in maroon did appear. In their first senior final they rose to the call, and now they're the champions of
For the 1968 senior football team, the county champions. And I'm here today with one of the kingpins of that great team, the great Timmy Woulfe from Athea. Timmy, thanks for taking time out to have a word with me.
You're welcome, George.
I was speaking with Shawnee O'Connor yesterday evening, and from a spectator's point of view, he has a vivid recollection of that morning here in Athea and the day and the whole happening of the day. What was it like as a player? Were you nervous or what?
No, I wouldn't say we were nervous. It was just kind of a cold concentration. We were very fortunate in the trainer we had, Johnny Welch of Ballylongford, who was one of the Kerry greats. He had won several All-Irelands. He had trained Kerry, I think, All-Ireland winning teams, and he was a lifelong selector, so he knew what it took to win something.
Yeah.
And the one thing that team had, which he had instilled from the word go, was total and absolute discipline. You were concentrated on the game. You forgot about the shenanigans of your opponents or that sort of thing, and just steely determination to do what you had to do, and the devil take the hindmost after that.
Athea went out on the day to play football.
Absolutely.
And from what I heard, Treaty didn't play football in the first half.
No, they would have had a better chance maybe if they did, because three of them were sent off, and one of the greatest miscarriages of justice of all time was perpetrated on the quietest man in not alone in the Athea team but any team, Kevin Dillon of Park, who was assaulted, headbutted by one of the opposition, and whatever bit of a push away, he just didn't get involved in any fisticuffs or anything like that. The referee sent him off.
And did he send off the...
He sent off the other man as well. He did, yeah.
Which was a miscarriage of justice.
Absolutely, and you won't meet any member of that team or anyone who was ever at that match that would ever support the opposite kind of idea.
Yeah. But going back to the morning in Athea, mass, I suppose, like all the teams as usual.
The usual, yes.
And was it Dermot McCarthy was the priest at the time? Or
that's right.
Was he?
He was, and he was a big influence.
Was he?
He was. Again.
He was mad into the GAA.
He was. Yes, there were two people who were great motivators. He was one of them. The first one was the local sergeant, Ken Dermody, Tipperary man, very good hurler, had been on the Tipperary minor hurling team, was in Listowel for a number of years, came to Athea. We had a team of sorts, but there was great apathy around at the time. There was no... Usually we had won the county junior team in 1964, and it was a 63, into 63, and like every achievement in Athea, when something was won, apathy set in straight away. Players retired. It was a great time for emigration and that sort of thing. But we were lucky that we had a very good minor team in 64, 65, 66, and they had won 3 West Limerick championships, and of course by the time the county semi-finals and finals came on, half the team were gone to England and that sort of thing, so they never really fulfilled their potential. But there was a nucleus of that team around all the time. Now, whether Ken Dermody saw a potential there or not, I don't know, but he wasn't long in the place at all when he became secretary of the club, and his enthusiasm was infectious. He didn't believe that we were as useless as we thought we were, and he began to pull the team together, get challenge games back in Kerry. He had the connections back there, and so on. And when 1968 came around, Dermot McCarthy had become curate in the place, and he was a great inspiration. I remember his favourite maxim was go senior. We hadn't been senior, you see. Go senior, he said, because if you stay junior, you're going to play like a junior. If you go senior, you have to raise the bar a bit.
But had you to go intermediate first to go
senior?
No,
there was no intermediate at the time. No. And the one thing that helped make up our minds was the fact that Ballysteen, Askeaton, I suppose they were Askeaton at the time, had a very good team. And they had won 3 county championships in a row. And we had met them in tournaments and things like that, and we said, we're as good as these fellas. Yeah. So that gave us encouragement, you see. Yeah. So Ken Dermody then got the idea of bringing in Johnny Welsh, whom he would have known from his time on the patrol bike in Kerry, and playing hurling. And Johnny had been there in 1963 as well, when we won the county junior team, but again, when that was over, well, Johnny went back to North Kerry. So Ken saw this anyway as the kind of panacea for all our ailments, and Johnny agreed to come in. Johnny had a lot of connections in this parish because he was a great fowler, and he was very friendly with the Daltons, Mick and Sean. And he used to come over there, and Sean and himself principally would go fowling, because Athea was a great place for wildlife, you see. So there was no problem about getting Johnny in. And I'll always remember the first night we were training in the high field that's across the road now from where the present pitch is. 6 or 7 turned up, and I had known Johnny a few years from being back in Kerry and one thing or another, and I said, Johnny, you know, I'm sorry, but we seem to be bringing you over for nothing. And he said, don't worry about it. He said, they'll come. And of course he was right.
The word got round.
The word got round. And yeah.
So the next night Johnny came, how many turned up?
Not quite sure, but I know that more came the second night than the first night, and gradually increased. And then there were enticing fellas who had semi-retired or otherwise to come back, and they did. And with the minor influence, then we gathered, a fairly formidable team.
And did you train a few nights a week?
Oh yes. Yeah. Oh yes. Trained in the high field. Johnny'd be the first man there. So you felt you had to be there in reasonable time as well. And we trained hard. And again, his mantra was total discipline. So.
Right. And his selectors, did he bring his selectors from Kerry, or were they local selectors?
No, there were local selectors with him, yeah.
Who were they? Pa Connors on it?
Pa would have been on it.
J.P. Collins?
Yes.
Michael Costello, was he there?
I don't know, was he a selector? He was chairman of the club, all right.
Was he?
I think John O'Connell was a selector. And I'm thinking it was Patsy Bruder, the late Patsy.
Right.
Memory is not as reliable anymore.
No, but sure. You brought the cup back, and that was the main thing. And run through the team that year. The goalkeeper, you had young Tom O'Keefe.
Tom O'Keefe.
He was the brother of the late Timmy, wasn't he?
That's right, yes.
Was there 3 O'Keefes in that team?
His brother Joe, and Timmy was a sub.
So?
Yeah.
Johnny was telling me that when he was doing the song, that he put in Holly Moran, but Holly didn't play at all actually that day. It was Joe Keefe that played. But we have to give credit to all the team and the subs now, because Holly and all them, they all played a big part on getting to the final properly. Did they?
Oh, very, very much so. Hawley's talents maybe caused him to miss the final, because Hawley was a flyer. He was still, 7 of that team were still under 21. And the rest was made up for them, all right, age-wise, but Hawley would have been one of those.
Was Paddy Dalton playing that day? Was he injured?
Paddy wasn't playing that day because we played Ula in the semi-final, and a bit of a rumpus started. I remember it vividly. Number 17, who was a sub for Ula, was one of the bench who rushed in to become involved in this melee. And I remember number 17 striking Paddy Dalton. Paddy defended his country as suppose, but poor Paddy was sent off. So Paddy was suspended from the final.
Oh, yeah.
And we were missing another fine footballer, Seamus Deland from Temple Glanton. We trained the previous Sunday morning in the high field, and Seamus dislocated his elbow. Unfortunately, and he was a very good footballer. So we were able to bring in 3 strong substitutes, strangely enough.
Right.
And
of course, you had county experience, yourself being a county player. And was Johnny Milan playing? Was he?
No, Johnny's knee had got crocked a couple of years before that.
But you had the county experience.
I'm afraid I had.
But you played cornerback for the county, did you? Whether you were playing the Athea team?
Centre field.
Centre field.
For that game, centre field. Yeah.
And had you any other county player or on the fringe of the county? Was Morgan? Did Morgan get a trial?
He would have got a run, and Conor Milan got a run.
Well, Conor was full back. Conor must be fairly young at the time.
And he was under 21.
He was.
So was Morgan.
Yeah. And Mike Hayes from Doreen, he was one of the youngest.
Under 21 again, yeah. A great footballer.
Yeah.
Played well into his, I don't want to say 30s and 40s and maybe 50s over in London. He was again a serious loss to the place when he had to emigrate. And Tom Barrett, who was a great footballer.
Was he from Fairley Street?
He was, yes. Tom played county junior, and some of them played county minor. Sean McAuliffe played county minor. I'm trying to think now. Who else?
But you had a great experience.
Oh yes. I forgot Jim Barrett. Jim Barrett lined out with the county.
Was he a brother of?
Your brother of Tom's.
Tom's.
Yeah.
And then he had a half-back line. Who was the half-back line?
Frank Collins.
Frank Collins, where was he? Clash or somewhere?
No, he was a nephew of Paddy Collins at the nursery. He'd be a brother of Collins's nursery. He'd be a brother of Jim Collins, who has the nursery up there now. And Jim Barrett, who had spent all his life in the forwards, had been relocated to centre back, and he was very good there. Okay. And Mort Liston, then he was the captain of the team. Mort. He was left half back, and Mort was a flyer as well.
Mort was no relation of Owen's?
No, not
the bomber was the
bomber was Owen's son. Yeah.
But I tell you, man.
yes, we claim him. We claim him.
And of course, Timmy, then you had the long arm of the law helping you along the way. Oh, yeah. You already mentioned Ken Dermody, and of course Kevin Dillon, who was wrongly sent off. So there was 2 more.
Jerry Carey was full forward, and he was a tremendous influence. I always claimed that Jerry was the person who taught me how to play football.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, because we used to talk about it, and he convinced me that I couldn't win the game on my own. In other words, to make use of the full forward line.
And talking about Jerry Carey, I remember when I was going to school, and we were going to school in that big field, it was dark going home. So I had the bike, and of course I had no taillight. And it was before the match, I remember, and I was cycling home, so didn't Jerry follow me out to the light? So I saw him after me, so I was young, of course, and I pedalled fairly fast. But didn't he catch me going up Tate's Hill?
It was all Johnny Welch's fault.
All Johnny Welch's. But that's all he said to me. I'm on the train. He said. I had no more about the light in the bike. Then the other man was Sean McAcross from Park.
Oh yeah. Sean was a very classy footballer. He was a great opportunist. He was very accurate, and he was always good for a score or two, you know. And scores in those days weren't as plentiful as they are nowadays.
No.
So
he won the day anyway. But was it 4 or 5 points at the end? Or?
I think it was about 5.
Was it?
Yeah, 5 points. Yeah.
So there must be great jubilation.
Oh, absolute euphoria.
And of course, the whole parish and the surrounding parishes, everybody was there.
Oh gosh, yeah. I mean, nowadays, you know, when you meet people that, you know, it's like people who talk about the night of the big wind, and that's. I was there the day he won the county final, and strangely enough, they all seem to remember the year it was, 1968, because certainly you wouldn't remember the years maybe the bigger clubs like Abbeyfield would have won county titles, but 1968.
Was the day in the year.
Yeah, that was
that was your first senior football. Did they ever win it since?
No.
So the one and only.
That's right. They got to a county final there a few years back, but just didn't make the day.
Yeah. But it was a great achievement anyway to bring the cup back that day.
Absolutely. We did, you know, it was only in after years that we realised the significance of it, because it hasn't been done since. It wasn't done before.
And the following year, did you cost him out to defend it?
We did, and we were beaten by a point by Askeaton.
Probably had the same nucleus of the same team. Had they immigrated at that stage?
I'm sure. I don't quite remember
might have gone.
I'm sure they had. Yeah, I'm sure they had. We were.
And go back to that 68. How did you fare out in the Munster Championship? You were into the Munster Championship then, of course. Who did you play?
Yeah, it wasn't played until January or February of the following year, and we had to cross to Clare. We played Doonbeg. It was a right stormy day. We had lots of lads had gone away.
They were a tough enough team, Doonbeg.
They were. They beat us. They beat us very well.
Did they?
They did. Yeah, we weren't good enough for them at all on the day.
Yeah.
And
was there any ferry to bring you across that time?
Oh, there was, yes. There was, yes. Because and I remember taking a coach load of kids from the school, and we decided to make our school tour out of it. So we went by Limerick, and we did all the tourist spots in Clare, and in panic eventually we got to Doonbeg in time. Right. And you know, I thought that was my preparation for it.
That wasn't in the Timmy Woulfe. You carried on. You soldiered on for a few more years.
I haven't retired yet. I hate people saying I'm retiring. I'm hanging up my boots. Well, why should they?
No.
You don't ever hear of a golfer saying I'm retiring from golf.
No.
So
no.
Why should they? It's good for people to keep running around. And well, I got involved in in the organisational side of things and coaching teams, and I got involved in county teams from minor up to senior at selector or manager, whatever guys it happened to be. And things weren't going well in Athea, so eventually anyway I packed in the county management thing, and I came back to Athea, and I trained the Athea junior football team for 10 years, and then when we decided that was by mutual consent that we had no further business together, I left, and I set up the ladies football.
Oh, right.
because we used to have the Sunday morning coaching sessions for kids up in the field. And by the way, can I mention the person who inspired all that, because his name won't always figure in the record books, and that's Lal Brown. It was Lal Brown that came up with the idea of coaching the young ones on the Sunday morning, and clubs to this day are going by the same kind of a blueprint.
Yeah.
And I noticed that a few girls began to filter in, you see.
And they became very successful.
Oh yeah, so when I gave up the boys, I went full out for the girls, and there was no county board or anything, so I did a bit of canvassing around, and we got 4 or 5 places to set up ladies teams, and that was the start of it. And we set up a county board. So as you could understand, then there was a great shortage of personnel to prepare teams. So I got the job of. We were a bit premature then when we decided to enter county teams, because we just weren't ready for it.
Yeah.
But I used to have to coach the whole lot of them. So it was a bigger job altogether than coaching the Athea football team. So I stayed with them for about 10 years then, and we had a very successful ladies team in Athea. We won the county championship several times, and did very well in the Munster championships, and that sort of thing. So after that then I said, it's really time to go now. I only retired from coaching. Well, I hadn't really retired from coaching.
But you forgot you were a very successful referee in between. Didn't you take up the whistle, didn't you?
Well, I never retired from that, because I was only, I'd say, 22 or 3 years of age when I was coaxed back to North Kerry to referee, and I'd never refereed a match in my life, and it was a very contentious one between Ballylongford and Clonmacon. It finished in a big row, so they decided they'd go outside the county for somebody for the replay, and the people that came, Cormac O'Leary, Brendan Scannell, Paddy Healy, and they'd coax you into anything, persuaded me to go back. And the first match I ever refereed was that one in Listowel. That was the word at all. It said they were told that I was, some kind of a dragon or something or other. I didn't put a foot wrong. So it took off from there, even though I didn't do much refereeing for years after, because I suppose I was too taken up with playing football. But in the latter end of my playing career, I was into it seriously. Actually, I had one great distinction, that the first ever Australian rules team that came to Ireland, I refereed at their first game in Killarney against Kerry.
Did you?
I did, yes.
That was in the 60s.
That was 1966
or 7, was it?
It was sometime around that. Was it the year after that Meath went to Australia for the return? That's right.
Meath won the All-Ireland, and they played Australia in Melbourne.
That's right.
So it must have been prior to
that. It was in the latter 60s.
Yeah.
If I thought for a while, I would be able to be more exact about it. So I did a lot of inter-county refereeing and so on.
Well, I'm glad that I was around to see you in action on the playing field. I remember it well, and it was like Mick O'Connell. I was around for Mick O'Connell when he was in Croke Park. We'll finish up on that note, Timmy, and thanks very much for taking time out to say a few words about your whole life, and of course about the great team of 1968. Ladies and gentlemen, the great Timmy Woulfe. Thank you very much, Timmy.
Thank you. This is the Athea junior football team who won the county championship of 1950.
They're a fine looking bunch of people. And I think I see Sonny Murphy there in the middle, the man I was talking to earlier on this morning.
That's right, I've always maintained that was potentially the best ever Athea team, if they were properly looked after.
We'll start with this team now, Timmy, left to right.
In front is Owen Liston,
Then
Christy Connell, Michael Scanlon, Paul Bowen of the guard, Sean Dalton, myself, Dan Liston,
back row, left to right.
Darby Fitzgibbon, who was from Kilcolman, Jim Bruder from Kilcolman, Mick Dalton, Sonny Murphy, Paddy Mulvihill, Moss Fitz, Pa O'Connor, Morris Leahy, who was a local teacher. He was from West Kerry.
The Athea team of 1968, lined out now for us by Timmy Woulfe. Front row again, Timmy, left to right.
Joe O'Keefe is first, I'm second. His brother Tom, Joe's brother Tom, the goalie, is next. Frank Collins is next. And then the captain, Murph Liston, followed by Mike Hayes. And on the right is Ken Dermody.
Now in the back row, on the left we have your selector.
Selector Pa O'Connor, then Jim Barrett, followed by Joe Bruder, then Morgan Morden,
Another supporter in between.
almighty supporter Mick Dalton, Tommy Barrett, Fairy Street is next, Conor Milan is the fullback, Sean McAuliffe is next, Jerry Carey is next, Kevin Dillon is the last.